Okay, we're gonna go over when you first get in the car, adjusting the seat and getting everything ready for it so you can be successful when you're driving. So when you first get in the car, your mom and dad probably were driving last. They could be taller or shorter than you, so you wanna make sure you adjust the seat. You wanna do that before you put the seatbelt on. If you put the seatbelt on and then you adjust the seat, then the seatbelt gets caught and you're kinda doing it out of order. A couple things. First of all, when your shoulder blades are back to the seat, you want to have your hands at 9 and 3, not 10 and 2. Your parents used to do 10 and 2, but now it's 9 and 3 because this big airbag right here is going to explode, and you want your hands on the side so when it explodes out, it doesn't hurt your hands. If you're up here too high, there's been cases where people have their arms burned and stuff because of the explosion of the airbag. So you want your hands at 9 and 3. I want my shoulder blades back. I don't want my arms locked when my shoulder blades are all the way back. I want to have a slight bend. This is how I already have it all set. You don't want to be one of these people like this. You want to be as far away from the airbag as possible for safety if it were to deploy. But you also don't want to not be able to control the car effectively. So my shoulder blades are pretty good. And if you look over here, if you look down, every car is different. This one, if I move that forward or back, I can move it. And then this one is the angle here, okay? Some of them have like a lever for your back to go forward or back, and then some of them has a little thing right here underneath. You click it and the whole seat goes forward. So some of them are manual and some of them are automatic. Okay, so I feel like I got the seat pretty good. The most important thing, if we could zoom in, and this is gonna help you start and stop, smoothly, is where your heel is. You do not move your heel. So you gotta find a spot. And if you see my leg is slightly bent, if I'm really reaching way out there, I gotta move my seat up a little bit. Or if I'm up too crunched like this, my seat's too far forward. So I wanna find a spot where I can put my heel, brake, gas, brake, gas. For continuity purposes, I want my heel to be equidistant probably from the both of them, so I just go back and forth. A mistake you're going to make is you're going to be on the brake and then you're going to lift you don't know where the gas is, and then you hit the gas and the car jerks back. You don't want that. So you want your heel on the ground and you want to kind of pivot off your heel. That's going to help you start and stop much more effectively. Okay, my arms are back. All right, the seat looks pretty good. Now my headrest. This is a pretty good headrest. It's a forward headrest right here. And what you don't want is you don't want your headrest too low or too high. If I were to get in a collision and my head was going to go flying back, you don't want it to whip all the way back. The headrest is there to minimize the damage to the top of your vertebrae, and it would stop right here. So you want to make sure it goes up and down. Mine right here, usually there's a little button right here, and it slides up or down. So you want it right at the base of your skull. Every car is a little bit different on how they adjust it, but this is how a lot of them are. You just push the button, it goes up and down. This one goes forward or back, and then you can go click, 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 and then all of a sudden you go all the way forward, and then it adjusts back. And lastly, the seat belt. You see it goes all the way down. If I'm a little shorter, I want it down here. If I'm a little taller, I want it up here. You're gonna have to adjust all these things with the car that you're gonna drive because it's not your car. I'm fortunate enough, I have my own car. I got everything set the way I want it, so it's ready to go when I drive. Now your blinker is lever over here. In every car, it's on the same side, so there is some continuity between different models of cars and makes of cars. If I want to actually go to the right, I put my blinker up like this, and I leave it there. I lightly click it back down to a neutral position, which will take the blinker off, and then I could go for a left. Now, over the years, I've seen driver ed students, they get all nervous, they grab the blinker, they want to jam it up, jam it down, they're just grabbing everything. You got to use a little bit of finesse, use your whole hand so you don't miss it, but you just kind of lightly go up. I've had kids get a little overzealous and then they go to turn it off and then the blinker's still on and they go up and down, up and down, up and down. You don't want to do that, so get used to it. Before you go on your first drive with your mom and dad, get used to the blinker. Blinker, back, left blinker, back. Get used to that, and so you don't really have to look. Over here is the lights. Now, I'm very lucky my car has auto. If your car has auto, it has daytime running lights, which most cars have now. Keep it on auto. There's a sensor on the front of the dashboard. Once it starts getting dark, it will turn your lights on. And the lights are on during the day. You want daytime running lights. Right here, the lights will be on forever unless I turn them off. This is my running lights, which aren't my headlights. They're just kind of like the side lights. And this is off. Okay, so I go all the way to auto, and these lights right here are your cabin lights. It will turn your cabin lights on, and one of them will do your dashboard lights. You want your lights as low as possible, especially at night. If your lights are really bright, it detracts from your eye from being able to see effectively at night. Now over to my door. A couple things that I have is, and I probably could take my seatbelt off because I'm in my driveway right now, even though I'm a driver ed teacher. You know, I want to be safe, right? Is I got a lock and unlock right here, okay? This will lock all the doors in the car, and this will unlock it, okay? Here are my windows. So my front window, my right window, and my back too. They just go down, up, okay? And then very important is the next thing, and I'm gonna go over, is my mirrors, okay? So you would hit this left button, and then you would move your left mirror, and then you hit the right button, and you'd move your right mirror. And I'll go over more about, you know, adjusting your mirrors. Lastly, some cars have this, and whoever invented this is definitely married. Is 1, S, and 2. When I get in the car, I press 1 and it goes right to my settings for my seat. And my wife, who's a little bit shorter than me, she has number 2. She gets in my car to drive, she hits number 2. So some cars are equipped with that, not all are. So every car is a little bit different. It's very important for you to get used to each car's idiosyncrasies and what you need. Okay, so now that I'm in the car, I'm going to make sure my seatbelt is on. It's across my chest. You never want to put it, some people try to put their seatbelt under their shoulder. You actually want to have it over your chest. It should be relaxed. There are some things you can put, if it kind of chafes your neck there a little bit, you could put up there. Now, if you look over here, this is very important. Every car is different, okay? A lot of cars have, you press the button and you slide it over, and there's 5 different settings you can be at for your transmission. I always say gear first. So when you get ready to go and you're all set, before you do anything else, make sure you put it in appropriate gear. Park is just P, reverse is R, N is neutral, drive is what you're really going to be in: park, reverse, and drive. That's all you're going to be in. D is drive, and L is low. You would use L if you were, had a trailer and you're going up a steep hill. It keeps it in a lower gear, okay? Anytime you change a gear, in an automatic car, you have to push your foot on the brake, and then I turn it to R. So now it's in reverse. Now if you look over here, all of a sudden my reverse camera comes up. So now it's the camera in the back of the car. You look at my daughter's nice artwork there on the driveway, and that's something I'm going to use as I'm backing up. I'm also going to turn my shoulders and look when in reverse. Neutral, the car's not going to go anywhere. It's not in gear. Drive, I'm going forward. Your parents might do this, and you got to be careful when you're in reverse. Make sure the car is stopped, then put it in drive. Sometimes people throw it in a drive when the car's still going in reverse, and it puts a little added stress on your transmission. You don't want to do that. So while I'm doing this, I'm depressing the brake. Okay? Anytime I do anything with the transmission, I have to depress the brake while I'm doing that. Okay? Now, every car is different, and it took me a while when I first got this car to understand all the different things. One important thing you see where my finger's pointing to right now is your hazard lights. Okay? Typically in a driver ed, when we switch drivers, we put the hazard lights on. I use these hazard lights 2 days ago. There was a rainstorm. I'm at 41, and next thing you know, I can't see anything. So I put my hazard lights on to make my car more visible, so the car behind me knows I'm probably slowing down, and the visibility is reduced. So you always want to know it's that same, it's kind of an international sign there for the hazard light, okay? Now, mine, I hit mode, and I can go, if you look over here, I can go the air coming at my feet. I can go, that's the front defrost, which you're really going to need to know. And I'm going to go defrost for now in feet. And then I turn it up, and you could just actually turn the heat up. Why do you need to know that? In the morning, your windshield's all fogged. You got to know where the front defrost is, okay? Every car is just a little bit different. This is my parking brake. Now, a lot of you are going to have a parking brake over on the left side by your left foot, and you're going to lift your foot up, and you're going to push it all the way down. That's your parking brake on a lot of cars. Some of the newer cars, I just press the button, and that would be a parking brake, okay? You got your modes. There's my radio. I got my radio. I want to know how to do that. I want to know how to do everything without looking. I don't want to have to sit there and do this, because it's, you know, that's going to make you actually avert your eyes from paying attention to the road. That's very important. Okay, cruise control, you just hit the button for cruise when you're on the highway, and then either one of them is set, and you can go up or down. And then say you hit cancel because the car in front of you is going too slow, then all of a sudden you hit resume and it goes right back to, if you had it set at 65, it would be right there. Very important. Or your windshield wiper, excuse me, right here. If I do it once, it will just do it one time. If I rotate it, if you can see, it might be kind of hard to see, but you rotate, now it's intermitting. Okay, so it'll go on every 15 seconds, and you rotate it up more, and then it'll go on every maybe second or so. And then if I go to low, I keep rotating, I go to low, and then I go to high, okay? That's your wipers. Also, there's some cars are equipped with wipers in the back, and I go right here, and I go the wiper in the back. And then a lot of times you have your high beam is right here. You can pull, and I got a little blue light in there, and that's my high beam. And you don't want to use that ever with a car coming toward you. No matter how far the car is away, you can actually really blind the driver and make it hard for them to drive. And one little thing a lot of people don't know about, if you look right here, I don't know if we can get it on the camera, there's a little picture of a gas tank in an arrow. You see right there above my finger, there's a picture of a gas tank and an arrow right where your gas tank is. That says which side you fill up on. So when you first drive your parents' car to the gas station and you're like, oh, is it on the right side or left side? Most cars have this. There might be a few that don't, but I would say 95% of the cars have a little arrow next to there. To the right is the analog of my speed, and the left is my RPMs, rotations per minute of the engine. I typically just use the digital. On the right on my car is the fuel, and then on the left is hot and cold, okay? And then how many miles I have in the car. Okay, now adjusting my mirrors, my rear view mirror, I want to see everything in that back window. I don't want it down too low where I can only just see the people in the back, or too high I can see the roof of my car. I want to be able to see everything in the rear view mirror, okay? Everything in the back window. Car just went by me, I'm parked right now. So adjust that with my hand. Some of them have OnStar right here, and we always have a student always call OnStar at least once a summer. So just be careful when you're touching the rear view mirror. Now this is actually illegal, believe it or not. You're not supposed to have anything hanging from your window. This is just a little something I've always had for my first dog, his first collar. So it's just like a good luck thing. But technically that is illegal. You're not supposed to have that. Okay. Now my left mirror, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to press the left button, and this is pretty universal, and then I have like a joystick. So I go left and then it goes out, and then I look and it comes in. Now what I don't want is I don't want to see half my car. I already know where my car is. I want to see my blind spot, okay? So I want to be able to have, I like to have a little bit of the car as a reference. See, I can see just slightly a little bit of my car as a reference point. I want to see that, but maybe go out a little bit because I want to eliminate my blind spot, which is off the back left tire of my car and my back right tire of my car, okay? So now I don't want to have to manipulate my head or lean forward or anything. I want to have it, that looks pretty good. My rear view mirror, I can see through the back. I don't know, maybe I need to go up a little bit and over. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let me go to my right mirror. Now my right mirror, I'm gonna press the right button and use the joystick. Now it's going out. Okay, oh, that's too much. I can only see houses right there. I can't even see the road. Okay, oh, there's a little bit of my car. I just wanna see, oh, there's a truck pulling out right there. I can go up or down. That might be too high, okay? And just without moving my head or manipulating my head, I can look right and see that rear view mirror. And just remember, this will not show your blind spot. Your blind spot is right back there, okay? So the back third of your car. That will not be shown in your side view mirror.